Hello and welcome to this webinar powered by ESA. I hope you had a look at the 4 videos I shared with you last time. It is very important that you watch them before we proceed. If you haven't had the time, please stop this video now and go watch them. So now you have discovered 3 opportunities: youth exchanges, mobility of youth workers, structured dialogue. Let's talk a bit more about it. As the name suggests, youth exchanges is an exchange between young people. In other words, a group of young people going to another country to learn something new and relevant for their personal development. The key aspect is the learning aspect. It is not a vacation to another country, but young people need to learn something very relevant for them. It can be about democracy, social inclusion, media literacy, or to develop new skills and competencies such as leadership, project management, communication, and so on. A good example of a youth exchange could be to organize a training on discovering what is social inclusion. Some of the activities that you can imagine in such a youth exchange could be to involve the young people directly with the local community. It can be a mobility fair, it can be a presentation of Europe in secondary school, it can be also a theater play or some street art activities. A youth exchange has to be for minimum 5 days, involve at least 16 participants, and include non-formal education activities. A youth worker is a person working with young people to support them, guide them, and engage them in non-formal education activities. Let's take here as an example the volunteers of your organization. They are most probably young people and as such eligible for youth exchanges. However, your volunteers are also youth workers, people working for young people and doing youth work, because what they do on a daily basis is supporting other young people before, during, and after their mobility abroad. A mobility of youth workers can be, for example, about organizing a meeting between your volunteers and the volunteers of another organization who don't work together yet, but have a common topic of interest. It could also be gathering your volunteers to develop a new toolkit or guidelines on a specific topic, for example on social inclusion or on the promotion of mobility. It needs to be organized for minimum 2 days, and it doesn't have any age limit or minimum number of participants. So now, if you are unsure about the difference between youth exchanges and mobility of youth workers, that's still okay. In order to find out, I usually ask myself the following questions. Is my project going to benefit mainly young people who will learn something relevant for themselves? Or is my project going to benefit my volunteers who will learn something relevant to organize better their activities for young people? A structured dialogue is a specific type of project that aims at reducing the distance between young people and decision makers. The main goal is to encourage young people to actively take part in the democratic life in Europe. A concrete example could be if your organization organizes a simulation of the democratic life in the European institutions. A structured dialogue gathers a minimum of 30 participants, but you need the support from a politician or an expert from the youth policy fields and make sure that he or she will attend your event. There are other opportunities for your organization that are slightly more complex. One is called strategic partnership in the field of youth. The second one is called capacity building in the field of youth. We will not look into those opportunities in details, but it is always good to know that more opportunities exist out there. My personal advice is that you start with a youth exchange or structured dialogue first. Organize a training event, get comfortable about how Erasmus Plus project work, make your own experience. And then we can talk about applying for something bigger another time. All the opportunities we have talked about today have 3 deadlines per year: in February, in April, and in October. This means you have 3 chances per year to get your project funded. So if you don't get it the first time, it's fine. Don't lose hope. There will be another deadline right after, and you will have the chance to improve your project proposal and try your luck again. It is also very important to know that in your country you have what we call a national agency for Erasmus+. They are your main contact point if you want any information or if you want any clarification or support for applying for an Erasmus Plus project funding. So simply contact your national Erasmus Plus agency for youth or your national Erasmus Plus office. For next time, I encourage you to have a look at this video. You will see what an application form looks like, and you will have a chance to get information on how to fill it in. That's all for today. Thank you for joining, and see you next time.